What's happening, y'all? It is Trev. I would just want to look at rain real quick and kind of show you some things that are happening. I want to start off by looking at the chart. So, last couple of days. Now we're looking at a 1 hour chart. Last couple of days. Let's say go back to the day before Valentine's Day. We had some big red candles, about three of them in a row, 3 hours of them, that took us from this high that we were at, up around $18, right back down to my trend line, right? And I said, all right, well, that's fine. As long as we hit the trend line and we bounce on that, we stay on that, and we go up from there, I'm happy with that. But the next day, the 14th, another 3 hours of big red candles that brought us way down. Way down, I think it came down to like $9. And yeah, the low right here, you can see $9.50. That was huge. I've talked about that when you have a project like this, a coin like this, where there's a very, very low supply, only 1 million, it is very easy to swing this thing back and forth. And I've also talked about when you have people, individuals who own, a decent percentage of your project, you never know, right? You never know when they could decide that they either want to take huge profits, jump out of it altogether. Maybe they think that's as high as it's going to go. Maybe they have some information about something else that they want to ape into. Who knows what the reason is, right? What the reason is irrelevant. The fact of the matter is it can happen, and it obviously did happen. Now, I want to look, matter of fact, let's go down and we're going to look at these sells, right? So here we are on February 13th, and previous to this, right, earlier in the day, there were some $1,000 sells, $1,500 sells, and those aren't so bad. Honestly, that's like, like 100 rain coin that people were selling, and even that is going to have an effect on the price, but not anything catastrophic. But then we came up to this one here, and somebody sold $2,500 worth. And then if you look at the wallets, right, you can see that they're different wallets too. These are different people. And then someone sold almost 6 grand worth, right? And those are going to be big hits with only 1 million supply. And it'll even tell you the amount of rain coin that was sold, right? So 143, almost 350 of them that was sold. You're gonna notice that in the chart, quite easily. But then you go up, right? And, you'll see some more sells. You'll see some more buys. This was the one. Boom. $14,000 worth. All right. 930 some odd rain coin. This was a huge, huge sell. I'm not, a wallet tracky kind of guy. I mean, I can kind of do it. I don't have the patience for it. And I'm not really great at it. To tell you, whose wallet this is, where it came from, what else they're holding, blah, blah, blah. So I don't know if this person has any more or any less. Some of you, I know, track these things like crazy. So leave comments in the comment section if you want to give me any information on that. But it was a big one. And it that's really kind of what brought us really down here, all right? But again, in typical fashion, this community sees a dip like that and says, hoo, 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 juicy, right? Grabs it up, and it started going up. But then the next day, boom, here we go again. Now, again, what is the reason for this? Was the day before Valentine's Day. This was the day after Valentine's Day. Huge sells. And I'll take you to those so you can see those. All I got to do is scroll up a little bit and we will start coming to them, okay? So we start looking at some of these red ones. And, again, you had some moderate buys, some moderate sells, nothing but some regular trading going on here. Let me get to it. Boom. We've got one here for $14,000. That was a lot. That was 965 rain coin. And let's look at the wallet. That was wallet B740. That was a big hit. Go up, keep going, right? Maybe somebody saw that came down quite a bit and they're like, oh, okay, I guess we're in a downward trend, and they're holding a lot and they didn't want to lose out. So boom, here's a $10,000 sale, right? That's 760 rain coin. that's just going to push it down even more and more. And then finally, somebody was like, oh, really? 27.5, almost 27.6, $27,600 worth, 2,500 rain coin they sold. I hope that was their whole bag, right? I mean, I hope that this person who really has no qualms about just dumping like that, I hope they don't have any more. And again, I know you guys are tracking this stuff, so let me know in the comment section. But these are really big sells. And it's also that's a dick move, plain and simple. Whether it's Raincoin or any other project that you're in, that's a dick move. When you've got that much to dump that much, especially though with Rain, because you know it has a very low supply, and you know that is going to be devastating to the chart. Now, again, I have full confidence in this community. I have full confidence in the project. And I know that people are going to want to come and school. For a lot of people might see that and be like, oh, there we go. Nice low price. I can jump back in really, really low. All right. Like I showed, it went down to like $9.50. I mean, if you were waiting to really pack your bags or you were waiting to get in, there was not a better opportunity in a long, long time. But still, it's just not cool to do. Now, even Calvin, who we've talked to, if you don't know, Calvin is one of the co-creators of Raincoin. Even Calvin, I believe it was yesterday, put out a statement, basically a plea to any other whales, because there are still some people who are holding a decent amount of Raincoin. Now, this one here, this is the deployer wallet holding 46,000. That's where your rewards and stuff come from. These two wallets here, looking at like 5 and 6%. Again, I don't know whose wallets those are. I'm assuming, and I could totally be wrong, I'm assuming maybe those are the creators' wallets, because I know that they, like, right out the gate, they bought back like they bought back a lot of the coins. Not only for the deployer wallet, but I'm assuming maybe their own bag, right? So everybody in this, even the creators, everybody's a holder at this point. Nobody has anything else. But those are some really, really big wallets. And from what I know, there's just the deployer wallet. There's not really any other wallet set aside for really anything else, right? Marketing or CEX listings, or I don't think there's any of that. So these wallets, I'm assuming, belong to people. And again, I'm hoping that who they belong to are the creators, because you're looking at over $750,000 worth, right? $893,000 worth. I can imagine how many Rain that actually is. And if a wallet like that decided to dump, it could be really catastrophic, right? So again, leave messages for me in the comment section. So as I do these videos, I have a better idea of what these wallets are and who they belong to. But all right, putting those aside for a second, right? And these are the top 10 wallets. And then all the other wallets, another 32.68%, are held by everybody else, right? But there is still people with, less than 2%, but between 1% and 1.75%. I mean, you're still looking at $260,000, $179,000, even $100,000 worth of Rain, right? If these people start just dumping in huge blocks, it's not great. You know what I mean? You got to really work really hard to kind of get back. So the plea that went out was from Calvin was basically, listen, if you're a whale, right, you're holding that much, of course you're going to take profits. Of course you're going to sell. That's what we're in this for. But could you please try and these are not his words exactly, I'm paraphrasing. Could you please try to do it in a more responsible way because of the low supply, so that you don't really do that much damage so quickly to the chart? It's not a good look, right? It's not a good look. For anybody who doesn't know the mechanics of Raincoin, for anybody who doesn't know about the supply, about the tokenomics, right? About the rewards and the reflections. And for anybody who doesn't know all that stuff and is just glancing through and they see a DJ Trev video about rain and they just go and look at it and they look at the chart and they see, boom, all these big sells and they see these people with, large amounts or whatever. It could scare some people off if they don't know exactly what this thing is capable of and how easily it is capable of bouncing back. So it's a valid point, all right? And so I'll make kind of the same plea, if you will, or, suggestion. If you're holding a great amount of this, take profits. You're going to take profits, right? And congratulations to you. Good for you. I'm glad you're making money. I want everyone to make money. But maybe do it in smaller sections, right? I don't know what happened with these people over here. It's Valentine's. What was there? What Valentine's Day emergency was there? Right? Did you buy Kubrick zirconia and she cried, so you had to go get like a real diamond? I mean, I don't know what it is that makes you need to sell all that much in one shot. I'm not saying that there aren't circumstances. I guess there could be, but if it's not an absolute necessity and emergency, try to be a little more responsible with it. And that's all there is to it. You can't make people do what, they're going to do what they're going to do, but maybe just try to have a little bit of a conscience about it. So since we've dropped down that much, you can see what this community does. You can see what this coin does. I mean, a dump like that would have really tanked a lot of projects. A lot of people would have saw that drop and been like, that's it. It's over for rain, right? They listed on MEXC and this is what happens. It's done. It's over. And everybody could have started panic selling. But nope. They grabbed it up. They scooped it up, okay? And just quick, as far as the MEXC thing goes, I guess MEXC is doing okay. I'm going to talk to Calvin. I'm hoping this week coming up and we'll chat about it. But MEXC, they launched way down here at like $8, right, when they listed. And it shot way up, right? It came way up. And right now we're sitting at $14.80 on MEXC. We just crossed $15 on the DEX, right? So the market makers are kind of doing their job. They're keeping that as close to parity as possible. So that's a good thing, okay? But again, we'll get more into depth with the MEXC thing when we get Calvin on. But look at what's going on, even as we're talking. We're over $15. We got a nice green candle going on. Here is my blue line. Here's my trend line. I've been so proud of this line because we do keep going up this line. But we are right now decidedly below that line. And what I want to do is I want to use another tool that I like to use just to kind of show you what's happening here. And that's my regression tool, right? And again, I've got my own way of reading this thing. I don't even know if this is how you're supposed to read it, but this is what I do. So just to reiterate real quick, underneath the whole thing, this is an area where if you have some dry powder, you better grab some because this is an abnormally low position for rain to be in. Anywhere in this kind of pinkish section is just a really, really good buy zone. This is how I read it, okay? And right now, we are very much in that really good buy zone. We're moving up, though. We're coming close to the border here where we could be moving into this zone that, for me, you could use it as a DCA. You can still DCA in there, all right? Because of the way this thing is still going up, and we anticipate it to keep doing that, you can DCA in that blue area if that's what you choose to do, right? But it's also, if you decide that that's the area that you want to just kind of hold and you're going to wait until it dips back down into that pink area, absolutely valid, right? Absolutely valid. Above this blue line, if you are going to take profits, for me, that's the place to take them, right? Not only take profits, but it's also a great place because very rarely has it been above that blue line. If you stretch it out like that, you can see what the average is, right? And very rarely does it get above that blue line. So if it goes above that blue line, you can kind of rest assured it's going to come back down into the ranges, okay? So if you sell some up here and you wait till it comes back down, you can wait till it comes to the blue, the red, whatever you want to do, and then take that money that you made and put it back in. Now you can pick up a few more, right? And you can pad your bag that way. So that's how I use this chart. And right now we are very, very much in this buy zone as far as I'm concerned, right? All right, let me get rid of this for a second. Now, I want to go back real quick to my trend line. And again, we are very much under this trend line. And right now, again, sitting at $15, which is great. You can see absolute higher highs and higher lows ever since the big dips on Valentine's Day. But I'm going to draw another trend line just to kind of show you something. And this kind of doesn't really mean anything. It's just interesting to me, right? So if I come like this from down here and I just kind of come to where we are, and I'm going to continue this line until it hits or intersects with my trend line that it really has been following for a while, right? And we'll do that. So if we were to get back on my trend line, today is February 17th. If we stayed moving at this same rate, right? And it might not, it doesn't have to. You've seen how easily it can go up, it can go down. But let's just say we traveled at that rate. Well, on the 21st, a little less than a week from now, we will be right back on my trend line. Now, it can go significantly down from here. $15 might be the spot for some people that they say, okay, once it gets to 15, I'm going to take a little profit. Maybe once it gets to 16, I'm going to take a little profit. They could do that, right? But we've got a lot of big guys that are kind of out already. And I think if people were kind of paper-handed or lettuce-handed, I'm not sure where that comes from, but it's a saying that this community likes to use. If they were lettuce-handed, this would have been the spot that they would have probably jumped out. Because they would have been like, oh, crap, it's going down like crazy, let me get out. I think the people that held and the people that have jumped in since then, I'm taking the guess that they're holding on now. They're not, I don't see us having any other big dumps. Again, I don't have a crystal ball. This is what I'm guessing, right? My logic tells me that this thing is going to continue to go up. And either it will go up until it gets back to my trend line, or it could skyrocket. Over the weekend, maybe early next week, we could see it just jump right back up, because we've seen that before, right? We've definitely seen it before. We could see it just jump right back up and get here. Now look at this move here. So this was February 12th, and this was February 12th. Within a day, look at the increase, right? From about $13 up to $17. This thing moved like $4 in like a day. So there's not a reason in the world why it couldn't get right back above my trend line and just continue this upward trajectory that it's been on. I see that as, for me personally, I see that as more probable than not. Okay. Anyway, that's what's happening with it right now. Looking very, very, very good. I will just scroll out real quick and just show you, even down here, not way up here, but even down here, we are still in one hell of a upward trajectory. Okay. This thing is doing very, 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 very well. All right. So I am kind of back to work, right? I'm not sure like exactly to what capacity we're back to work, but I know that this week coming up, we've got quite a bit to do. It looks like, and this is the earliest we've been back to work in a long time, but it looks like we could get back to work pretty seriously at this point. I know that we've got a huge thing coming up as early in April as we can start it, weather permitting, and we've got a lot of things to try to get done before then. So I don't know how much I'm going to be able to. This is the point in the season where I make significantly less videos. I'm just really busy with, some of you may know, me and my cousin took over the family business when my uncle passed away, and we're building it, right? We're building it, to honor his memory. And so it takes a lot of time and energy. I don't really make as many videos in the summer as I normally do over the winter. But also, Calvin and I have talked about having, a little sit down, kind of a live stream and chat where we're going to talk about some things. I don't anticipate it being much longer than maybe an hour or so. It's just a matter of trying to figure out when to do that because Calvin is a couple hours behind me. He likes to do things in the morning. It's his best time because he has a young family. However, if I'm working, I'm not available until after 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern time. Weekends are bad for him. It's going to be tough to plan this out. But I think we're both committed to trying to do it. Hopefully he can find some evening. 5 o'clock for me is 3 o'clock in the afternoon for him. I don't care if it's 7 or 9 o'clock at night for me. If it makes it easier for him, if he can jump on for maybe an hour or so, we'll put it together and watch on Twitter for that notification. And we'll, as soon as I figure that out, we'll get the information to you. All right. Leave comments in the comment section. I don't care if you just say hi, right? I appreciate knowing that you watched. Hit the like button. All those things that you guys need to do to help other people see these videos. I appreciate it, and everybody else appreciates it. All right. I will talk to y'all later. Ciao.